I think in the African American context, the pastor is always probably ahead of the congregation, but in most of these instances, the pastor is in the business of trying to lead congregations, and so having conversations with members of the congregation and helping them also to come alongside and support is part of this effort.
Can the minister from Maryland talk about what happened after the bill passed in terms of targeting? Some of that has been talked about for Illinois, that legislators are worried about their careers.
There has been overwhelming support in our county, which was a focal point in the state of Maryland. There's been overwhelming support by the electorate for our legislators who changed their votes and supported marriage equality, the Civil Marriage Protection Act of the state of Maryland. What we found is that the people in the pews understood what's at stake. And this is about not codifying discrimination as a part of the law. And so there has been overwhelming support from the individuals in the community and the electorate. And we have become, this has not divided our community. Most of the language in marriage equality legislation in Maryland, and I think you'll find in the bill written here, most of the legislation is religious exemption language. And so there's nothing that forces or obligates any church, pastor, temple, synagogue to perform a marriage if it's against their practices and beliefs. We can both protect religious liberty and protect individual freedom at the same time.
Yes.
So how do you? I'm sorry. So how do you convince the supporters of Reverend Meeks, Bishop Trotter, a lot of the other heavy hitters, that this is about equality and not about religion?
I think that part of that is what we're doing right now, is having conversations. And for me, it has been sort of this contagion where ministers, clergy like the ones that are standing behind me, are able to reach out to other clergy and begin the conversations that open the opportunities for people to extend their beliefs.
And do you plan on doing that? I mean, do you plan on sitting down with Reverend Meeks and Bishop Trotter and trying to convince them that this is not about religion, this is about...
I'm certainly open to it. It's not on my plan, but I am open to it.
I mean, despite all the support, it doesn't really seem that this is a real priority for this session coming up, the veto session. Do you think there's a chance that it might not go through and it may fail?
Well, we are certainly hopeful that it will.
Will you be participating in the march in Springfield as well?
Yes, I will.
Can anybody comment on what is it in the overall African American church community? Is there any kind of demographic breakdown on this issue? Like the more upscale people are open-minded to it, and maybe the more working class people are the objection to it? Is there any kind of...
I'm not sure what upscale people are, but I will tell you that black folks are not monolithic on this issue. We're all over the map.
Is there any fear of a backlash from the black African American community as far as clergy? Once you step out on this platform and say you already supported this bill, is there any fear of backlash of any sort?
I don't see there being fear. We are not afraid.
One more question?
In terms of having conversations, are you having conversations with African American members of the General Assembly who did not take a position on the bill in the spring?
Yes, that is part of our field work. We have field work folks who are having meetings with representatives in the districts.
Have you been able to sway any minds or get any affirmative votes?
Absolutely.
Who? Can you tell us who?
No, I can't. Obviously.
All right, last question. Anybody? All right.